Hey everyone, it's Kale, it's Cruise Comp Captain, and today I'm bringing part 4 of my subscriber Q&A series. So if you're interested in being in part 5, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel down below and post a comment on my channel. Specifically on this video would be even more likely to get chosen, but anywhere on my channel and you might be chosen for part 5. So without further ado, I'm Kale. I live on cruise ships full-time, and if you're interested in learning how I do that, check out my channel. But today I'm going to be answering subscriber questions about the lifestyle in general, or anything that might help clear up some uncertainties or things like that. So without further ado, let's get into it with the subscriber questions. So we have Rui Hanzhang. VP got raised to $15 per point in RCL, or Royal Caribbean, but I heard that they raised the payouts for Jacks or better. Do you have more info about this? So I have heard about that. I haven't been on a ship with video poker recently because I spent so much time on Spectrum of the Seas recently. That was my most recent sailing. And but my understanding is that yes, normally in the past you needed $10 of coin in for 1 point for video poker, as opposed to the $5 coin in for 1 point for slot machines, and they've raised it to $15 of coin in per 1 point. They did that sneakily too. They didn't really announce it. But I also heard that if you bet the higher denomination, so I think dollars or higher, which if with a full bet would be $5 per spin on single line, then they did raise the pay tables to kind of counteract that with the math. So instead of like an 8-5 pay table on Jacks or better, it'd be a 9-5. And if you don't know what that kind of means, go ahead and watch my low volatility slot machine guide where I go into pay tables and volatility and things like that. So as far as I know, yes, that has changed, but if you play a dollar denomination or higher, it doesn't really matter. It hurts the lower denomination players, though, for sure. So that's a change by Royal, because video poker has been a great way to earn points without a large house edge if you're a good video poker player and you play near perfect video poker strategy. So thank you so much for your question. We'll get on to the next one. CatCat123 says, do land casinos match status from cruise ship casinos? And that's a very general question, and the answer is kind of, and it depends. So there are some, if you're asking in general, if any random land casino, if you're playing some casino nearby, and will the cruise ship match it, or vice versa, if you have a certain status on the cruise ship, will your local casino match? And the answer is probably not. There are two programs right now with Royal Caribbean specifically, two Players Club programs from land-based casinos that do have some kind of crossover with Royal Caribbean. Those are MGM Rewards, which is, historically has been M Life, and they have lots of casinos in Las Vegas and all over the country. They're under the MGM Rewards and MGM flag, and also Hard Rock properties. But Hard Rock's interesting because there's lots of different Hard Rocks in different cities, and some of them are affiliated and some of them aren't. So, for example, in Florida, there are the two seminal Hard Rocks. One is in Hollywood, Florida, in South Florida, and one is in Tampa, Florida. And those two have a specific not necessarily match, but there is a program that I've used where you, as a Club Royale Signature member or Masters, I've been Signature for the past few years, which is the level above Prime, you get to match to their, you get a complimentary 3-night stay once a year with a $300 resort credit. If you were Masters, you'd get a $600 resort credit. And you can use that once per year as you renew your Signature tier. Now, does that mean I automatically have the rest of the status with the Unity program, which is Hard Rock's program? No, not necessarily. So it doesn't fully match, but there are some perks. With MGM, they also actually just match from your Royal Caribbean account. If you're a certain tier on Royal Caribbean, you can get Gold card. I don't think it goes higher than that, but Gold status is nice. It's like their mid-tier status. It gets a lot of perks already, included waived resort fees, at least as of recently. This could change if you're watching this in the future. So there are some status matches that can happen, but it depends, and there's just specific programs. So I would look into those locally, see what your tier is, and see how it matches. And Cat, thank you for your question. All right, Kate Mawson 9994. I love these questions and answers. Thank you very much. Just curious, 2 questions. Are casino comps influenced by your nationality? And 2, if you live in North America, are your offers more likely to be focused closer to home rather than cruise offers for places like Australia? Looking forward to hearing your answer. So, some of these questions, this will be an example of one. I don't have full and perfect information. I can talk based on what I know from other people and my own experience, and then also my own hunch and on what I believe to be true. So, I'll go on that. So, nationality, I don't think that matters a large amount for your first question. I think what's most important is where, I think what's most important in general for what cruise offers you receive in your account are what cruise offers have the most availability. So if there are more available cabins out of a lot of the ships sailing out of South Florida, or there's more flexibility because of the amount of ships going out of those ports, there might be more offers for most people going out of something like South Florida. Generally, it's going to be a supply and demand type thing. I don't think the cruise lines care exactly where you're from. What they care is where you'll go to get on these ships, because they don't care what you spend to get there. They care what you spend once you're on board. So I don't think your nationality affects it that much. If you're a local to South Florida or you're a local to Southern California, will you get more offers for that? Perhaps. But I think what's more important is the availability of those sailings for the cruise lines. So I very rarely get any offers for something like Australia. Obviously, I live nowhere near there. But I also think that there might be restrictions for nationalities and things like that for travelers. But otherwise, I think in general, the higher demand the sailing, just the less offers people get in general for that. So thank you for your question. Snurdle says, how much play do you have to continue with to get continued offers once you get on the rotation? Do you think keeping at above the average of the instant cert is wise, or is that wasting money attempting to keep the marketing offers better? I have a week more vacation time than my spouse, so I'd like to see if I can use that week for once a year for a casino cruise to basically top up offers and then do 2 more of them as cheap as possible. So it seems I just need the instant cert, 1 prime cruise, and then 1 marketing offer. Does that seem like a reasonable goal, or are they way out in left field? Okay, so this is a more advanced question, Cernals. It sounds like you kind of are already working the system pretty well. Your first question, do you think keeping it above the average of the instant certificate is wise, or is that wasting money attempting to keep the marketing offers better? So that's where we just don't know. I would say that the smartest, most efficient way is to just hit the instant certs on board and not go above it at all. That's what I would do. Because with marketing offers, they're hit or miss. There might be like a huge next jump you need to even get better marketing offers, or to get from interior to above, or to even trigger it. So if you're earning instant certs, that's what I always say. If you're earning the minimum amount of instant cert and you're not going like way beyond that, and you know that the instant certificate that you're earning is like one that you're actually willing and able to take, then you're way above most players in the casino. Most people in the casino on these ships are just blasting away and not really, they'll come up short of an instant cert, or they'll go way, way, way beyond it and go and double or triple their budget for, to not even earn like much of an upgrade, or just to go from an interior to a balcony, but they'll pay 3 times as much, which for me doesn't make much sense, but everyone's got their own. You can just pay an upgrade fee for like $100. You don't need to triple your budget to do that. So I would just stick to the instant cert thing if it's me. I think that's the most efficient, seeing as we don't know the rest. So it sounds like if you're shooting for instant certs and you're also setting it up with prime cruise and stuff like that, then I think you're already way ahead of the game, and I wouldn't overthink it. I wouldn't overthink it. Play what you like to play. If there's a cert that's higher, that's going to get you a better cruise offer, maybe you go for that offer to kind of bump your play that way. So you're bumping your play if you want to try to get more into marketing offers, but you're also getting a cruise that you want more. For instance, like if I see a 1,500 point certificate and then there's not a cruise I want more into like the 4,000 one. If 2,000 and 3,000 don't improve it, and I don't want to go anywhere near 4,000, then I don't play more than the 1,500 on that cruise generally. So hope that helps, Cernals. I think you're doing great though. Dr. Chater says, how can I get a comped in Royal if I get an instant cruise certificate with Celebrity? Is there a website that can match me with Royal? So there are third-party websites. I have used one. I'm not going to recommend any on here because I'm not affiliated with them, and I haven't used them in a while, so I don't know if they're good. Don't want to recommend them, but in general, I think you can use those, and they can work out okay. Otherwise, I think you can directly contact Royal and Celebrity and see if they will offer you something. So if you're earned a cert on Celebrity and you want to go on Royal, contact Royal and say, hey, I have this offer, what can you do for me? But there is no official way to do it. So I would get creative. You can go through a third-party service to see if they can offer you something, or I would contact them directly. But no, there's no switching between those in any kind of official capacity. But anyway, that's going to wrap up the video for today with those questions. As I said, if you're interested in being in the next series of this, in the next installment, go ahead and subscribe to the channel down below and leave me a comment. If you like this video and you like this style of video, let me know. Let me know in a comment. Even if you don't have a question, let me know if you like it. If you want to see something else, give the video a thumbs up if you like it. It helps me decide what videos to make next. I mean, I've got a bunch of different types of videos on this channel, so your comments and your feedback and your likes and subscribes really help to show me through the analytics what you guys like for me to make. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and please give me the subscribe anyway. Check out the channel for all my other interesting videos, port tours, tips and tricks on cruising, and all my guides to get more free cruises than you can possibly use. And thank you so much for everyone who's been along for the ride, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.